like how they do in the British Parliament. The yeses, you scream, you don't have to raise up your hand. Yes, it should stay. No. If the yeses outweigh the no's, then it goes off. So I don't know who will start first. Biran, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. So let me just...
access and infrastructure.
Okay. Oh, hold on, one second. Okay. I just want everyone to see the beginning of the communique. So this is the 4th National Internet Governance Forum, the Gambia communique, 4th and 5th of July, 2018. Theme, Internet Governance in the New Gambia. So we, the participants at the 4th National Internet Governance Forum, held at the Paradise Suites Hotel, the Gambia, on the 4th and 5th of July, 2018, organized by the Gambia National Internet Governance Forum Steering Committee, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, Communication and Infrastructure, the Gambia. Recalling that this is the 4th session of the National Internet Governance Forum held in the Gambia, recalling that this is the first National Internet Governance Forum held in the Gambia after a 6-year hiatus, recalling that the 11th West African Internet Governance Forum in 2018 shall take place in Burkina Faso, the Pan-African Internet Governance Forum with Secretariat at UNECA in Addis Ababa is scheduled to take place in Khartoum prior to the Global Internet Governance Forum in Paris, France. We agree. So this is where we start putting our points. Yes, Chair. Okay. Okay, great. You see?
That is the language they use.
Okay. Aware that the 11th. Okay. Well, the reporter says he's right. So we'll put aware. Okay. Aware that, okay. So that's reflective. Modu Ali, you can use the interventions. You use the mic there if you want to intervene. Go ahead.
Sorry, my minister's name is not properly written. It's Information and Communications Infrastructure.
All right, great. Thanks for that rectification. What did I miss? I missed the and. Great. Any other observations before we move ahead? Great. So we agree. So I have listed all the 5 sub-themes that we discussed. So what do we agree on access and infrastructure? So the sort of language we'll be incorporating will be, we shall develop, we agree to, that kind of language. So it's basically all what we intend to do, right? So based on that, Ami, let's capture the points from access and infrastructure.
Okay. So from our group, we've identified 16 points. To come up with mechanisms to subsidize and ensure national broadband network is affordable to users.
So, Ami?
Yes?
The point is what exactly? Because you started off with ECO1 and NBN. I already started capturing that. So what's the point? What did you guys decide?
The point is for government to come up with mechanisms to ensure the national broadband network is affordable to users.
Is encourage a strong enough word, or do we want something much stronger? Where are the reporters in the room and the lawyers? You guys are good with this type of... We ensure.
Ensure.
No,
yes.
That's not the word. We encourage. Encourage sounds very relaxed. You know, like if we challenge, that sounds really strong. Can I have some middle ground wording, please? We shall. What's the word? What's the point?
To ensure national broadband network is affordable to users. Someone is saying urge.
We
We
urge.
urge. Yeah.
We go with urge or encourage?
Urge.
Urge. Ensure. No, ensure can't fit into this sentence. We urge that. Go ahead, Ami. We'll go with urge/encourage and we'll revisit it, and you guys, maybe by the end of the drafting, you choose on one of those. Ami, go ahead.
Yeah. Next point, or? We urge and encourage government to ensure national broadband network is affordable to users.
That's good enough? No? Yes? Maybe? We encourage the government to make the national broadband network affordable to users. That sounds really nice. Yes? I have both urge and encourage because you guys have not decided. Which one is it?
Yes.
So which one is it?
Let's urge.
All those for encourage. All those for urge. Urge it is. Move on, Ami.
National local roaming to solve the issue of disconnectivity within certain part of the country.
You guys are going to come up with the wording for the beginning of the sentence. I'll just type whatever she's saying. Ami, can you say that again?
I said national local roaming to solve the issue of disconnectivity within certain parts of the country.
Okay. So what's the word? What are we using? That is a very long sentence, Kaus. But we call on the government, I like. To ensure.
To ensure there is national local roaming.
That's it.
To ensure.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Great. So which one is it? Ensure or encourage?
Ensure.
Take it home. We call on the government to ensure national local roaming to solve the issue of disconnectivity within certain parts of the country. Can we be more specific on certain parts?
Rural areas, probably.
Or should we leave it open? Should I put rural areas or should I leave it open?
I think you should leave it open because in some
Okay.
part of the greater Banjul area, you still have those kind of problems. Maybe just add for both data and voice.
Add what?
For both data and voice, roaming for both data and voice.
Does that reflect what you want? Okay. Next point.
Okay. To encourage operators to, this one was not quite. Okay, certain percentage of energy consumption from the operators should be solar.
So we encourage green, right?
Yes.
Going green. So
Yes.
how do we reflect that? We Man, all the brains have turned to Damada now. So we encourage the use of renewable energy sources
Yes.
by operators to reduce cost? No? What would be the purpose? What was the issue?
Energy consumption.
To reduce energy consumption? No, that doesn't. Ablai, so go to the mic. You have to speak around the mic so that we can capture it. We encourage the use of renewable energy sources in order to...
Especially in areas where there is no electricity.
Especially?
In areas where there is no electricity. Because I would ensure, because I know of areas where operators do switch off their generator at night, and then the people don't have signal to save cost. So if it is energy, if it is renewable energy, I think it will go 24 hours.
Okay, so how do we word that? We encourage the use of renewable energy sources, especially in areas of low electricity coverage.
Yeah, complete that statement first.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I wanted to redact the first one, we, because we cannot do that. I guess it's government that needs to do that. And when we are writing communiques, I think we are kind of writing a decree to government.
Yes, we are.
So normally when we do that, you write straight that what government should do. You said government shall, government should, government, it should be something like that, I guess. Instead of taking ourselves as a subject, it's government that is the subject because we don't implement anything.
Yes, but so do we take out all the we's? Because my understanding is, Pons, can you come in here? My understanding is this is a proposal, so to speak, from this forum.
The communique is basically what the stakeholders have decided. So that's why the word we. And then what happens is that this is also passed to government, and governments, we as a pressure group, will ask for government to implement. So that's why the word we.
Okay, I think we have we on top. So I don't think we need to repeat we again in every sentence. So as far as we have we on top, we can just say, urge the government,
okay,
to...
That's a good point.
Yeah, and then we remove we there. But also I think we should not give, let's say, leave everything in the hands of government. So we as stakeholders, we should also play some roles. What do I mean? Maybe we should give some ourselves also a role to play instead of leaving everything in the hands of government. Not in the communique? Okay, all right, that's fine, that's good. Okay, that's fine.
Yes. So, encourage the use of renewable energy sources by service providers, especially, yes, I wanted to put it there, but then if we say promote the use of renewable energy sources, we won't say who is doing the promoting. It will sound like we are doing the promoting, when we shouldn't be doing the promoting, right? That's my understanding. Okay, so I had put promote, but then when I was reading it, it wasn't really clicking. So I changed it to encourage, back to encourage. Encourage the use of renewable energy sources by service providers. Because we're not the ones using the energy, or it's the service providers. Especially in the areas of low electricity coverage. Okay? In order to, are we not going to state why we want to encourage that? Shouldn't there be a purpose to the request, or can it be open-ended funds?
I think the purpose should be to reduce environmental and atmospheric pollution, because that is the ultimate goal of using renewable energy.
But we have to contextualize it now, because we are contextualizing it in the in the area of internet governance, not in the area, not in an environmentally friendly,
Yes,
even though I
I
agree
think-
with you, but we have to
I
stay
think-
within the context.
Excuse me,
I think
I
in
just
this
want
case-
to intervene, please. Sorry, Mr. Renner. I think we should capture everything Ami is saying for the benefit of time and capture all what the rapporteurs, then Biran will start going through it, then we'll start doing the edits. If not, we are going to waste time if we are trying to edit and go along. That's my suggestion. Madam Chair, I don't know if that's fine.
Whatever works for everyone is a democracy for today. So you want to go ahead and edit, Sheikh Omar, as we're moving along, or you want us to get all the points? All right, great. So, let's get all the points, and then we'll edit.
Okay, the other point is to have a service level agreement with all operators to compensate for downtime.
All right, next point.
To encourage all operators to have internet backups and also at the national level, at ACE.
Especially at the national level and also at the national level.
Especially, and also.
I think especially is better. No, we'll come back. All right, 6.
To establish a neutral carrier data center.
Neutral
Carrier data center.
career, as in C-A-R-E-E-R. Or C-A-R-R-I-E-R.
Yes.
Yes?
To encourage local content development.
Okay. Right. Was that your last point?
No, to redelegate the .gm.
Okay, I'm just going to change that wording because the new wording for ICANN is actually delegate.
Okay.
Even though we're getting it back, it's still delegate, not redelegate.
Okay.
So I'm just going to keep it that way. To delegate the .gm CCTLD, yeah? Okay.
A policy to have .gm websites to be hosted locally.
So I'll just add develop in front of it so it makes more sense. Develop a policy to
have .gm's websites to be hosted locally.
to host .gm sites locally, yeah?
Yes.
Great.
Create awareness of digital literacy and startup support, and to have a startup support.
Digital literacy. Startup support. When you say you mean company startups?
Yes, company startup support from the government.
Services, I'll add it there so it's clearer. Yes? Next one.
Policy to limit charges.
Oh man, what did I do? Okay. Develop policy to limit
Charges.
or reduce charges, you
To
mean?
reduce charges. Charges for businesses who want to roll out into rural areas.
What kind of charges? Maybe Pura can tell us the kind of
Yeah, I
charges
think
that these
Pura-
businesses have, or GRE if they're here.
No, I think we are talking about
Taxes.
some tax incentive for service providers who want to roll out in the rural areas.
So
At least that will encourage them. If they know that in underserved areas, they would take the same equipment there and at least they'll get something.
So to introduce tax incentives for service providers. Madam Reporter, help me here.
Yeah, who want to roll out into the rural areas.
I don't know, that sounds too easy. Yes, okay. Okay, next point.
Universal access in the ICT sector.
Encourage. Okay.
to encourage content delivery network to be hosted locally.
Okay.
So the last one is from Pura. They said there is a reduction in fiber and ACE, and we expect same to be reflected down to the end user.
How do I put that?
Did you get that?
I can't put expect. Reduction in
Fiber.
fibers.
Maybe policy to ensure that
Yeah, a policy.
to ensure that service providers service providers should also reciprocate in the reduction of bandwidth on both the ACE and ECO1 infrastructure.
On bandwidth prices,
Yeah. Because
on both the ACE and
the ECO1 infrastructure. End users should also enjoy that reduction.
okay. For end user benefit, yeah?
Yeah.
I think at the end. Great.
That's the last one.
So do we go on to the next one? Security in the digital economy. And then we come back to access. Sheikh Omar. Thank you, Ami. So we'll go on to security in the digital economy. Emma?
Hello.
Hello.
So with all of the ideas that we discussed, I attempted to condense everything into potentially 5, probably more, topics or sentences. And so the first one that I have targets cybersecurity in the private sector. And so what I wrote down was increasing cybersecurity in the private sector where government materials are kept safe and secure while having government agencies and the people hold them accountable to doing such.
Okay, so read that again slowly.
Okay. So increasing cybersecurity in the private sector where government materials, such as emails, are kept safe and secure while having the government agencies and the people hold them accountable to doing such.
We need to cut that down. It's
Yeah.
a very long sentence.
Yeah. Okay, if I stop at
Increase.
government. Okay, so just increase cybersecurity in the private sector?
Where government.
I
So
said-
is it just the private sector that this point is for? Nothing to do with government?
Increasing cybersecurity in the. Let me.
Where government, continue the sentence, where government,
Let me scratch that really quick. Increasing cybersecurity in the public sector. Sorry, that makes more sense. Where the government materials are kept safe and secure. We can, and then the other half was, while having government agencies and the people hold them accountable to doing such.
okay, so it would be increase in cybersecurity in the public sector where government, continue,
Materials are kept safe.
and secure while keeping them accountable on something. That's what I want to add at the end.
Okay.
Because her sentence is really long, and I want to capture the accountable part that they brought up. So
We-
read it again.
We spoke
please.
about keeping the government accountable to what their promises are to the people as well and what they signed up for.
Okay, let's try it one more time. Increase in
Increasing cybersecurity in the public sector where government materials are kept safe and secure. Shall I continue?
yes, I want to see the whole, yes.
Okay, are kept safe and secure while having government agencies and the people hold them accountable to doing such.
While having government agencies and the people,
Yes.
mm-hmm,
Hold them accountable
mm-hmm.
to doing such.
Okay, so we need to move just the accountability part. Increase in cybersecurity in the public sector where government,
Materials.
increase in cybersecurity in the public sector, taking into account safety and accountability of government.
Love it.
Taking into account safety and security of government materials.
Yes,
there you go.
yes. Oh.
Man, I should be an English teacher. Safety and security of government materials. Is that what we said?
Can you repeat that?
Increase in cybersecurity in the public sector,
Yes.
taking into account the safety and security of government materials.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's not what I wrote, but that's the general.
The general understanding.
Yes.
Okay, great. We move to point number 2.
Okay. Point number 2 had to involve policing illegal activity and also enforcing copyright.
Hey,
So,
you guys. Can you start again, please?
yes, I'm just giving you the topic 2. I tried to incorporate policing illegal activity and enforcing laws. So what I wrote was increase policing of illegal activity on the internet, such as hacking, illegal downloading, phishing, sandboxing, and also enforcing laws regarding copywriting and what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay, this is what I heard.
Yeah.
Increase policing of illegal activities and enforcing copyright laws on the internet.
Yes, not necessarily just copyright laws, but materials that people have made and then they show it and then they give it and and they sell it, but then people copy that in material and information and content. Thank you. Protecting content of those who have created it.
So, Sharma, can you help me? How would that sound? Increase policing of illegal activities and protecting content on the internet?
Yes.
Protecting content sounds very
Yeah.
content, intellectual property content. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, the third topic, I wrote about e-commerce in the digital economy. And this one, I said, increase accessibility and affordability of e-commerce in the digital economy by encouraging businesses to implement the use of the digital economy. We could definitely fix that one up.
So I just put increase accessibility and affordability.
Yes.
Can you continue?
Of e-commerce in the digital economy.
That's enough?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This side is extremely quiet. Joseph, you're too quiet. Next point, Emma.
Fourth point, I wanted to talk about how the public sector should become more involved with the people. And so what I wrote was, have the public sector become more involved in reaching out to the people to encourage ITC in the use of the digital economy.
Have the public sector
Become more involved in reaching out to the people to encourage ITC and the use of the digital economy.
in the use, or and the use.
And the use, or and in.
That's the end of the sentence?
Yes, we could expand on it more if the audience wishes, or improve it.
Should it be in the use? You guys should get a mic. You should get them a moving mic, please. Yes, we just have an intervention on the floor. Pons, can we get a become more involved in reaching out to the people to encourage ICT and the use in the digital economy, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's what we were trying to say. Yes. Yes. Or encourage the use of ICT in the digital economy, no?
Encourage the use of ITC. I like that. Okay. I mean, I do.
Okay.
Biran,
Yes.
I think there should be somewhere where she mentioned e-government, because he's now talking about public. Because he said encouraging or aware something. Maybe you can read it again. So
Can you
we see
read it
where
again, please, Emma?
The sentence that I wrote?
Yes.
Yes, the one that
Okay.
you wrote.
I said, have the public sector become more involved in reaching out to the people. And
Okay, pause.
Okay.
Involved in e-government
Involved.
and reaching out. Because I think e-government is important that we encourage our government to go in for it. So things like filling passport forms and all these things on the internet, you don't need to travel all the way to fill a form and all that kind of stuff. I think we need to encourage all that from all aspects of the government. Thank you.
Did you mean the become more involved in the e-government? Is that what you said?
Yes, e-government, and then you continue from where.
What was that last part?
Now I'm saying e-government,
Yes.
and then involve, and then you insert e-government, and then continue your sentence.
Okay, so I have then, have the public sector become more involved in the e-government and reaching out to people to encourage ITC in the digital economy.
Okay, shall we continue?
Yes. Next one I wanted to focus on, we talked about also the government having control over on the public use of of the public internet, such as for public spaces such as education and libraries. So.
No, I'm waiting for her. She has not started her statement.
Sorry, I haven't started.
She hasn't started her statement yet.
Oh, the previous one.
E-government is there. Have the public sector become more involved in e-government and reaching out to the people to encourage the use of ICT in the digital economy.
Well done, you're on top, man. You're on top of things.
Excuse me, can I, rapporteur?
Yes, I think one of your group members wants
I'm sorry to say, but it's not reflective of what we discussed.
some of the points.
If
I tried.
most,
Okay.
yeah,
Go ahead.
And I beg if you already have those points, better
Yeah.
go through them. They are about 8 or 9 points.
The points that we made,
Yeah, we made, yeah. If
those
you have,
it's a page and a half.
they're a page and a half.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
better
made a
go
lot of
through them.
points.
Better go, because there are more of the topics, security in digital economy. But these ones now, some are not really reflecting security in digital economy.
I can go through each point, but they mostly have to do with very specific things. So what
Yeah.
I tried to do was encapsulate all of the page and a half into potentially 8 points. Do you want me to, I could read the first.
Yes, go
Okay.
through the page and a half, Emma, and
Okay.
let us capture what we can from it.
Okay. We talked about suggesting security-wise, how websites should become more secure and by improving cybersecurity. This involves SSL and more encryptions for that to increase protection of web applications. Oh, sorry. Increase cybersecurity for websites through encrypting SSL to increase protection and web applications.
It should be, how to call again, website and web applications. Websites and web applications.
So increase.
To increase protection for websites and web applications.
Okay.
Okay. Government should.
We need to go back to that point and finish it off. Increase protection of websites and web applications.
Yes.
Something SSL. I missed the rest of the sentence. Increase the protection of websites.
Yeah, I think to just keep it simple, you can just say increase the security of websites and web application using SSL. I think that will be a very simple
Using
form.
SSL and other encryption mechanisms.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Great. Next point.
Government should create agencies that hold the government responsible for the use of technology.
For the use of technology or user technology?
Use of technology.
So government should create agencies that
Can
hold...
we discard that? Because I doubt there was... Can we discard that?
Okay. Then we go to the next point, Emma.
This one had to do with e-commerce and the digital economy and digital marketing. So improve affordability and accessibility by improving the receiving payment systems in the digital economy.
That one we say is better in the access and infrastructure group. That point.
Should we?
By improving. Finish the sentence and then I'll move it.
The receiving payment system in the digital economy and localizing it.
By improving and localizing.
The digital economy.
Localizing the receiving payment system in the digital economy. That sounds better. All right, so that goes up, right? That goes there. Good?
Okay, develop e-commerce into businesses so that GDP becomes more online.
Develop e-commerce businesses?
Yeah.
To encourage what was the rest of the sentence? So that GDP becomes more online?
Yeah, to encourage the rise of e-commerce in GDP. We were trying to encourage, we were thinking that, we were talking about how Senegal's GDP, part of it is from online, and we wanted to increase our own online presence. Does somebody else?
Yeah, that's the word, online presence.
Yeah, I think to say to encourage the use of e-commerce to help boost up GDP.
Gambian businesses and help boost GDP. Okay, I think this reflects what you're trying to say. Develop e-commerce businesses to encourage online presence of Gambian. No, that sounds too repetitive. Develop and encourage online no, that's repetitive. Online and e-commerce.
No, you can actually remove the online, just put the e-commerce.
Yes, because it's the same. Fine, yeah. Develop encourage the development of e-commerce businesses to help boost GDP.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Encourage the
Biram.
Yes.
Their first point was on e-commerce. Can we see how we can match the two?
Okay.
If possible.
Let's go back.
Otherwise, we can leave it like that. Let's just
increase. No, the first point was on cybersecurity.
Oh, that was security on e-commerce.
Yes.
And this is talking about
promoting. Boosting. Yes, promoting
e-commerce for GDP. Okay.
Promoting Promote is the word we should use. Promote the development of e-commerce businesses to help boost GDP. Perfect wording. Next point, Emma.
Okay. Sorry. Also to create create and fast track the establishment of a digital...
Sorry, I lost you. What was the word?
Create and fast track the establishment of a digital currency.
I like that point.
I think it was just to create a digital or to adopt digital currency, as somebody mentioned, not fast track, right?
Fast? What was that?
Promote, adopt
adopt digital currencies.
Oh.
Somebody cited CFA digital CFA come into play. Digital currency.
So encourage the adoption of a digital currency.
Digital currency, yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not really creating it. This is something that probably already exists, and we're just adopting standards that follow it, right? Your mic isn't on, Modali.
We don't have e-delacy, right? So we have to start from creating. You have e-CFA, you may have very soon. So we're thinking of having similar.
So creation has to be in there, then. We're not adopting, we're actually creating. So encourage the creation.
The rationale behind this is because we have different mobile monies now. You have Kodo and AfriMoney. So if you have one e-delacy, then we have different players but using the same currency. Right.
Okay, so encourage the creation of a digital currency. Sorry?
E-delacy.
You can put my face on there when we decide. Go ahead, Emma.
Okay. We spoke a bit about sandboxing and other illegal activities, but I tried, and you guys can change me if you want, I tried to incorporate the illegal activities and the intellectual property rights into a previous statement that we made.
Yes, you did say increase policing of illegal activities and protecting intellectual property content on the internet.
If you guys want to be more specific in talking about hacking, sandboxing,
no, I think we can't be specific because things are evolving all the time. So let us try to be as...
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So we move on to the next point.
Okay. As we talked about, increasing capacity building and improving awareness of ICT and the universities and schools about cyber. Sorry, let me repeat that. More capacity building and improving awareness in the universities and schools about cybersecurity.
Yes, that's correct.
Cybersecurity awareness.
Should I repeat that?
Yes, please.
Okay. More capacity building and improving awareness in schools and universities about cybersecurity.
Okay. In secondary and tertiary institutions. Let's try to be as non-specific as possible. Because there are other things that are not schools.
Biran,
yes.
I will want to add also at the workplace. Some of us at the workplace don't even know what is cybersecurity.
But now that becomes, now we can only ask government for something that is public sector related. Yeah, so not private sector. So, sorry?
We're here.
Or we're going to just task government to come up with a policy that, is it a labor law? Then it would be under, yes.
I beg to differ because when you talk
No, I'm asking.
I know.
I don't know much about this area.
No, we are chatting. Because when you talk about cybersecurity, when it comes, it doesn't know whether it's public or private or commercial place.
Indeed.
It just comes and do whatever havoc. So I think all workplace, people should be, people should know about cybersecurity.
Why don't we say...
Especially if we do it in the schools, it will help the future generation.
What did I do? Okay, I have a suggestion. Hold on, let me type that and you guys tell me what you think. increased capacity building and improving cybersecurity awareness in educational institutions, the public and private sector. No.
That's good.
Doesn't really sound nice. No. Madam Reporter, what do you think? So increased capacity building and improving cybersecurity awareness in the public and private sector, in the public sector, the private sector, and educational institutions.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
good.
to move it around. It's okay? Sorry, Kausu, can you grab a mic or go to the mic?
I was saying, I think education institution falls under public, so I think it's fine. The language is fine. Public and private sector is fine.
Yeah, but that's why private is there. Okay, so I think it's fine.
Biran, what brings schools there is you want nationalists building cyber experts, right? So therefore, we need to introduce courses on cybersecurity, both in tertiary institutions and also in universities. We need cyber experts.
Okay, Modu Ali, I have a suggestion. Why don't we be less specific and just cut it off here? Increase capacity building and improve cybersecurity awareness. Boom, that covers everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whether it's schools, madrasas, private office, public office. That's it?
Yeah, good.
Great, thank you, madam. Okay. Great. Increasing capacity building and improve. Okay, the tenses have to match. Next, please.
Have the government become more involved and invest more in cybersecurity through education, increase cyber awareness, and also create specific budgets to allocate towards projects for expanding cybersecurity and ITC.
So maybe what we should put in the initial point.
But one that is government to invest and spend on
I was going to say the
cybersecurity.
same. I was going to say the same thing, and we could incorporate it in point number 8.
Okay.
Encourage government to invest and increase.
Budgetary allocation on
No,
cybersecurity.
invest in.
And then
You want it to be separate or together?
We also talked about creating having a budget and it being overseen so that we know specifically where the money is going towards.
So encourage government to invest in cybersecurity through specific budget allocations.
Yeah.
Do
Invest
you want
and
to be
spend.
that specific?
Please say spend also.
Okay.
Biran, please spend.
Yes.
Invest and spend as well.
Invest and spend. What's the difference between investing and spending?
Invest, you hope to have something come out of it to benefit you
They are
in the
different.
future.
Investing, you are expecting a return.
Madam Reporter,
Spend is not.
what's the difference between investing and spending?
If you invest
Where are the bankers in this room?
They are different, huh?
What's the difference between investing and spending?
If you invest in something, you expect a greater outcome than what you just giving away money.
Thank you, Emma.
Yeah, I think we can just go ahead with investing. Yeah.
To invest and allocate specific budgets towards cybersecurity.
Yes. And there's a big emphasis on education, but we don't have to go to that if you guys don't want to.
You guys didn't say anything
Did I?
on schools, and I removed it.
The capacity building is more for schools, trainings.
So we want to be specific and talk about schools.
Part of their IT curriculum in schools to include cybersecurity there, I think is very important. It will help us all tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay, so increase capacity building and improve cybersecurity awareness through the implementation of ICT in schools? No, ICT, through the implementation of an ICT curriculum.
To include, they have ICT curriculum. Most schools, they have that. To include.
To incorporate, maybe incorporate.
To include cyber in the in the IT curriculum. In the
To
schools,
incorporate.
something
To incorporate, yeah?
So let's come
Hello,
again.
Bira?
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, you know, I don't think we have any IT curriculum, you know, because IT is not an examinable subject in school. So before you can include it, I think it should be examinable. Exactly. It should be a course that, you know, the student will be tasked to do it.
So right now, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education does not have a curriculum for ICT in schools?
No, they have, but my understanding is not examinable.
Ah.
So it means...
So they don't sit for it at WAS,
Yeah,
for
they
example.
don't sit at WAS.
So should we maybe call for a policy?
Exactly, for ICT to become an examinable course in schools.
Hello.
So can we put that in really nice English, please?
We were looking more at the tertiary institutions, not primary, junior, and senior, right? But tertiary.
Mod Ali, we have to start down there. So I agree, but we need to start at the bottom, not wait until... Yes.
I was also thinking maybe we also need to initiate a computer emergency response team. I don't know if this is something that is already in place.
And I was expecting Barry to say that.
That's
Okay.
a point on that.
Okay.
That's a point on that.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the
Abubakar.
issue of cybersecurity is more of awareness. So digital literacy is still the key. There is no IT curriculum in schools. It doesn't exist. So each school is just, the lecturer goes online and tries to teach something. Some schools are implementing the Cambridge standard, but that's not our WIAC standard. Most of the schools that are not following Cambridge, they don't have any standard in IT. So I think the statement should go, we incorporate cybersecurity and digital literacy at school level.
So encourage the incorporation.
Can you please say that? Examinable.
Of cybersecurity and digital literacy
In schools.
in schools.
Yeah. And examinable. Maybe that will be in the later phases.
Incorporation in school. In schools. How do we put in examinable here? Why don't we put encourage the incorporation and implementation? Because when you implement, then you examine, right? I think, Madam Reporter. Yes. I wanted to add implement, but let me read it without implement, then I'll read it with implement. Encourage the incorporation of cybersecurity and digital literacy in schools. Or encourage the incorporation and implementation of cybersecurity and digital literacy in schools. So which one do you want?
I think it's
first
the
one is good.
examinable should come clearly.
Examinable should come.
So where do you put examinable, please?
At the end. At the end. Digital literacy schools as examinable courses.
Or encourage the incorporation and examination.
No.
Yes? No?
Can you
Examination.
can you please read the first sentence that you left?
Encourage the incorporation of cybersecurity and digital literacy in schools.
As examinable.
As examinable subjects.
Yes.
Okay.
As
Sounds
an examinable.
No, you're listing two things, so you cannot say and. Cybersecurity and digital literacy. So as examinable subjects. I should be an English teacher. Okay, Emma.
Okay.
So I left this point here, increase capacity building and improve cybersecurity awareness. I'm not taking it out because that's general, right? We want it to be specific to schools, but also general to public and private sector.
Right.
Right? Okay, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Next one. Okay. The National Security Council should implement a new law or amendment that includes cybersecurity.
Okay, I think, isn't
Sorry,
that already?
We said the National Security Council Act should be amended to make sure that the Minister of ICT sits in that council. The National Security Council Act should be amended to ensure the Minister of ICT sits in that council.
So it should be incorporated to include cybersecurity. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. Amendment to incorporate.
It doesn't sound right.
Sorry, I need clarification on the composition of the National Security Councils. I don't know if other actors are also part of the National Security Council, or this is only limited to government officer.
I
My
don't know
apologies.
the composition, but I know the chair is the VP, and this high level is ministers, right?
Yes.
It's high level. It's not high level. Please note that.
Okay, cool.
I do believe it's only government officials, but
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected.
It's chaired by the VP. It's high level, huh?
Do you want the National Youth Council to be part of the National Security Council?
Anyway, I think it would be good not only to have National Youth Council, but also to have other actors, so that it becomes.
But I think this is more of a
multi-stakeholder.
government level effort.
And
I
here
don't
the
think.
subject is IGF, right? IGF is represented by the Minister of ICTs.
No, not only the minister, but we are stakeholders in this, not only the Ministry of
You are
Information.
represented by the Minister of ICTs.
Democracy at its best.
Okay, cool.
Yes, Rodin, I believe you guys want to be here until 9
No,
o'clock.
it's not that. We just need to clarify things.
No, I'm
my
fine.
point-
I'm chilling now. So go ahead.
My point on this last statement,
Yes.
to include the Minister of ICT in the national security. Why? What
The
role,
purpose being
what role
what?
is the minister going to play in that?
Thank you.
I would just want, it's not clarity, but I think I see the reasoning why they wanted it there, because basically the National Security Council, you have all the defense chiefs, the head of SIS, and all those people there. And now we are also dealing with cybersecurity issues and stuff like that. So for all right purposes, I think the Minister of Information, Communication and Infrastructure should be there. So that's the basis, because it's a governmental thing. It's our own equivalent of COBRA in the UK. So,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Anyway, noted, but I think in all arms of the security forces, they all have their IT departments. The military have their IT department, the police, the SIS. So, I'm just trying to avoid another ministry tomorrow say that, we want to be in this. We are talking about security issues here. And those security organs of the national security of the Gambia, I think all of them have their IT departments, which, of course, are doing courses and training on cybersecurity and the like. So I don't see why we want to, tell the government to put in another minister in there. I don't know. That's my take.
I agree to a certain extent, Rodin. They do have ICT experts in their specific departments. But correct me if I'm wrong, based on my background in working at the Ministry of Finance, these ICT departments, I believe, report to MOICI. Right, Muraliu?
ICT units of different ministries.
They do report to MOICI, just like the Accountant General's Department has accountants deployed in different ministries. The Ministry of ICT has ICT officers deployed in different ministries. And those people report to MOICI. So ideally, the minister should be the one sitting on that.
But allow me to answer this
security.
question, why we say the minister should sit in that council. The thing is, if you look at security, before, when the act was enacted, cybersecurity wasn't an issue. But now cybersecurity is a national issue. You expect more digital attacks to your resources than physical attacks now. And when the security unit, the security sector, were doing the security sector reform and assessment, in fact, they had a strategy. Apart from that, they wanted a cyber security strategy for the security sector. So it was during that meeting, I was there in person with the special advisor on security to the president, Modubaji. We discussed this, and they themselves acknowledged the fact that the minister should be there now, and they said when it's been amended, they make sure the minister should be there. But alternatively, now what they have now is whenever there's need to bring somebody in to sit, they have that window. So they make sure the minister comes there. And even for national food security, they also invite the minister responsible for that sector. So they have big need. But then they themselves endorse that when the act is being amended, which is very soon, they ensure the minister sits there. This is very relevant. And for your information, the National Cybersecurity Strategy, there's a recommendation to have a National Cybersecurity Commission. So now, in that meeting, we said, why do we have to do these two, a commission, Cybersecurity Commission, and a Security Council? So kind of why don't we merge these two? So the minister sits in that council, and then no more need to have a National Cybersecurity Commission, although subject to validation. Yes.
Okay, so I understand your justification for having this point, and to a certain point, I agree, and I think we need to contextualize it, so I added something at the end. Let me read it, and you guys tell me what you think. So, encourage the amendment of the National Security Council Act to include the Minister of MOICI in line with an increase in cybercrime, or in line with increased cyber attacks, or in line with the change?
Like cyber warfare.
In line with industry.
Or in line with the or digital economy, to be more general.
But have we had cyber threats?
Yeah, we do have. The 2016 cyber report on vulnerability assessment in West Africa, in Anglophone countries, Gambia was ranked the most vulnerable, especially our banking sector.
Wow,
Yes.
so encourage the amendment of the National Security Council Act to include the Minister of MOICI in line with increased cyber threats. Okay? I think that's okay now. So Emma, we move on to the next point.
Okay. This one had to do with restructuring the police force and specifically the computer incident response team.
Okay.
So we wrote, or what I interpreted was, have the computer incident response team restructured to hold those of crimes held accountable, and also those within the force held accountable for their actions.
I think it's fast track the establishment of the CERT. Fast track the establishment of the computer incident response team. To shorten it. It is being established, but it's tracked, so fast track it.
Fast tracking it? Okay. So fast tracking the computer incident response team to hold those accountable, or?
Fast track the establishment of the computer incident response team.
That's it. We move, Emma.
Okay. Create ICT standards for the private sector and public use of ICT, and so that they would comply to these standards and meet certain quality standards, is what we talked about.
Okay, so create ICT standards for private and public sector. Hold on, I think we captured something like that. No, we didn't.
And so international standards are complied by. There's compliance to international standards in IT equipments and systems in both public and private. I think that was what we said, right? And so compliance to international standards in IT equipment and systems in both public and private.
Ensure?
And so compliance to international standards in IT equipment and systems in both public and private.
Okay. All right, Emma, next point.
Localize the ECOWAS Supplementary Act, which is centered around data protection and complying to what the Gambia has signed up for in the Supplementary Act.
Okay, that one what we said, Biran, domesticate the ECOWAS Supplementary Act and AU Convention on Data Protection and accede to the Budapest Convention. These three.
Hold on. Come again. Is that under security in the digital economy?
Yes, it ensures security. It helps security.
So domesticate the...
Domesticate ECOWAS Supplementary Act.
Documentary.
Supplementary.
Supplementary.
ECOWAS Supplementary Act and AU Convention on Data Protection and accede to the Budapest Convention to help in fight against cybercrime. Can I add that?
Domesticate the ECOWAS Supplementary Act and AU Convention on Data Protection, and we need to be...
Accede.
And you cannot say and accede. And do we apply for the seat or do we get...
Yeah, there's a process involved to certain, that's why I say accede. That is the whole process.
And have a seat? Or
Come again?
And have a seat. We have to have a verb there, and a seat does not...
Accede is a verb.
Accede or...
Accede, accede.
A-C-C-E-D-E?
Yeah. Accede to the Budapest Convention.
Ah.
It's a legal term.
I didn't know what you were saying. I thought you were saying a seat.
No, accede.
Accede, okay. To help in the fight against cybercrime. All right, next point, Emma.
Okay. Next one we spoke about a bit before, but you'll see the difference. Ensure that the government will protect and enforce intellectual property rights to empower the Gambian people. We specifically focus about empowering the Gambian people to create new content, but we also did speak about already enforcing and protecting intellectual property rights. So
I think that is for another group to say.
IPR, huh?
Yes.
That's a good IPR group.
Yes, it should. But I'll take it down anyway, and then we move it. Go ahead.
We talked about...
Ensure that, no, go back to the intellectual property. I
Ensure
don't
that
want
the
to
government will protect and enforce intellectual property rights to empower the Gambian people.
You should type next. Yes.
Good? Oh, that's it.
Good. I'm just going to move it. Give me 1 second before you start talking again. Okay. Where is intellectual property? This one.
Biran,
Okay.
can you please read the point?
I'm moving it to intellectual property, but it's ensure the government will protect and enforce intellectual property rights to empower the Gambian people. So I've moved it to IP.
It's better there.
No, I didn't. Do you want us to leave it in?
Yeah, no, I think then there are like a couple of points that were put together. The one I'm more concerned about, which seems to be left out, is for government to try to use local programmers in the development of e-commerce.
Encourage the...
government to use local programmers for the development of e-commerce system.
E-government?
E-commerce and e-government system, yeah.
Okay.
Or we can just say e-government system, because specifically that's what it is.
So encourage government to utilize local capacity.
Capacity of programmers for the development of...
I don't want to be specific with programmers, because when you're specific with this wording, they're only going to look at programmers. But when you say capacity, that covers all types of, ICT.
In the ICT capacity.
ICT capacity.
Yeah.
So encourage government to use local capacity in developing e-government solutions.
The system,
e-government
solutions.
systems.
No, that's still
Systems
fine,
or solutions? Which
yeah,
one?
that's still
whatever.
fine, yeah.
That may be joined with another point that is coming later, I believe.
And content. So encourage government in using local capacity and content, or just local capacity?
No, in this case, it's just capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
In developing e-government solutions. All right, Emma.
Okay.
I hope we're almost done with yours, Emma. How many points?
We have 3 more.
Okay.
Okay. First one, we talked about promoting the government promoting ITC skills throughout the Gambia, which we already discussed, but we also specifically wanted the government to promote women in the Gambia, and especially in those in the rural areas.
In the area of ICT?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you have.
I didn't get this far, but I said, you could say, have the government promote the use of ITC skills towards women to help further their development in ITC skills.
Okay. Do you want to add something to that, Modu Ali?
I'm just looking at the relevance with respect to the subject.
Security in the digital economy. Yes.
We discussed it, and that's what I wrote down. So we
skip it?
We could skip it, or we could focus more on educating women in digital economy.
More encourage women in more. Yeah, can you jump?
We skip it?
Yeah, skip it, please.
Look at you, Modu Ali. You want to skip women issues. No problem. Emma, let's skip it.
Well, then the other areas that we discussed were not necessarily involved with the security in the digital economy. The other areas we discussed was cleaning up wasted computers or like...
Okay, that is ensuring proper e-waste management. Ensuring proper e-waste management.
How is that under security in the digital economy?
What we are saying, for example, if you have your gadget as a government employee, if you discard it, right, dispose it, so there might be your chips, you know, your data there, so somebody may pick it. Yes.
So how do we reflect that as a point?
Yeah, we might need to move that topic to another sub-theme.
Ensuring proper e-waste management
to
check
e-waste management of devices.
As the Gambia becomes more developed and more computer-based, we would need to...
Yeah, basically what he's trying to say is putting in place a proper disposal system for government and the private sector.
When you say disposal, it's very open.
Disposal system for IT equipment and systems, right? In the public and the private sector. Yeah, to ensure security. Data lost is protected in this way because the disposal system in the government here is like when the machines have gone over the lifespan, what they do is we will sell it directly to staff. Most of them sell it directly to staff with the hard drives and everything. And these machines are taken back to their homes, which is not a proper disposal system in a disposal procedure in any IT setup. So they should put a proper disposal procedure for IT systems and equipment. Is that okay? Yeah.
To check data being accessed or data being put a third party to put hands on data, right?
I have putting in place a proper disposal system for ICT equipment in the public and private sector. That's what I have. Does that suffice, or?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, Emma.
Last one, holding the government accountable for the international organizations they signed up for.
That's
very open-ended. It has to be, yeah.
There's one, maybe she missed